They took 2 out of 3 from the Mets. And the Braves won their series opener last night against the Pirates. So on a hot Saturday night in Atlanta, the Braves will attempt to put another W in the home win column. They face off against the Pirates in Game 2 of this 4-game series. Once again, it's time for Braves baseball. Tonight from Turner Field, it is indeed Game 2 of our 4-game series featuring the red-hot Atlanta Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates. All season long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, The Right Stuff, and The Low Price. Happy Saturday, everybody. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey back at the ballpark. 6-1, the Braves picked up a win in Game 1 of the series. And, partner, the big names came up with big hits late in the ball game yesterday.
It seemed like last year, Chip, all year long, the big knock on the Braves offense was lack of situational hitting, not getting guys over and got them into scoring position. That has not been the case for the Braves in this great stretch where they've won 13 out of 16, highlighted last night by the big 2-run double to blow the game open by Dan Uggla. And then on an 0-2 count, Chipper Jones going the other way. Evan Meek made a mistake up and away. Chipper didn't try to do too much with it. He went the other way and drove in 2 more runs to cap that scoring for the Braves. And for the Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot, the Atlanta Braves are doing just that with the situational hitting this year by comparison to last season. With a man at third and less than 2 outs last year, they were last in the majors in that category. They're 11th this year, so they're doing a great job of getting guys in when they get them on.
But it was a costly win for the Braves. Brian McCann is down with a rib cage injury. We'll have more on that a little bit later on. But what a luxury for Freddie Gonzalez to be able to plug in a man like David Ross in Brian McCann's absence.
Jerry Naron, the bench coach for the Milwaukee Brewers, said about David Ross, he's the best backup catcher in baseball, and he's proving to be just that for Atlanta. Last year and this year, 45 games as a starter, 7 homers, 27 RBIs, and check out the team record. 30 and 15. I doubt that there's another backup catcher anywhere in baseball that can lay that kind of claim for their ball club. And his start in L.A., just proof again what he can do for the team. That long homer to center. Then he threw out 2 runners trying to steal. You know that he's one of the toughest catchers to run on in baseball. He proved that again in L.A. And hopefully for the next couple of 3 days, he'll provide that same kind of support for Braves pitchers and in the hitting department as well for Atlanta.
And speaking of the Braves pitchers, we'll tell you who will be starting Game 2 of the series and who will be starting for the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a little hint for you. We'll come back with the starting pitching matchup right after this. 3 in their last 16 played. And tonight it's game 2 of this Braves and Pirates series. Good pitching matchup tonight. Young Randall Delgado goes for Atlanta. Veteran left-hander Eric Bedard pitches for the Pirates. A look inside of Bedard's numbers, very surprising. This man's 0-4 this year.
It's not hard to figure out when you see that he's only been given 3 runs total to work with in 4 starts. He got shut out in one other one. But Eric Bedard's a tough customer. The Braves saw him last year while he was with Seattle. He pitched a great ball game for 7 innings. Got no run support that day, and the Braves won that one 3-1. He's been injury-riddled most of his career, but he's healthy and a good pickup for the Pirates rotation. Meanwhile, Randall Delgado's given up 10 runs on the year, but 5 came in that 1 inning in Arizona, and it cost him a loss. If he can avoid the big inning tonight, I still like his chances against Bedard.
Let's make it 2 in a row over the battling Buccos. Nice crowd here in Atlanta. A beautiful night for baseball. It's Atlanta, it's Pittsburgh, and our starting lineups and the first pitch coming up on our Saturday showdown next. Draft.
That's not Roger Goodell. No.
It is Braves baseball, however, a beautiful night here in Atlanta. And the ball club in fine spirits. They come into tonight's play a game out of first place and facing the offensive challenged Pittsburgh Pirates. A couple of changes for them in their batting order. Jose Tabata's in right field tonight. Got to keep an eye on Andrew McCutchen, a real young superstar. He's in center field. And Eric Bedard, as we mentioned in our opening comments, a tough starter pitching and batting ninth.
And they'll go against the Braves kid, Randall Delgado, 22 years old, 6'3", 200 out of Panama. You see his numbers for the year in that ERA at 5.74. And it's really elevated because of that 1 inning, 5 runs in that 1 inning in his last start against Arizona, in which he lost 6-4. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. For Randall, no big inning. That seems to cost him at just about every start. He gets in trouble with 1 bad inning, and make them swing. Don't walk these guys. They're struggling to score runs. They have a bunch of guys that are not hitting even 200. Don't give them free passes.
So Randall's ready to go. So's Alex Presley. He's the Pirates left fielder and sports an 11-game hit streak. 81 degrees in Atlanta for first pitch. One ball, 1 strike. Presley at 296 for the year. Had 2 hits in game 1 last night. Erwin Danley has the plate this evening. Doug Eddings, Paul Nowert at second, Dana Demuth the umpire at third. And Presley pops it by the Braves on deck circle, but no play for David Ross.
You know, last night when he spoiled a bunch of pitches in the first inning against Tommy Hanson, it was on similar pitches to this that weren't strikes, that were up and in, and he would fight them off and pop them up out of play. It's amazing that he can even get a piece of those.
And you're right, he had an 11 pitch at bat against Tommy Hanson to start the game for Pittsburgh last night. And now he takes ball 2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Your key about swinging the bat, well taken. Presley has only 2 walks this season as the Pittsburgh leadoff man. And that one under the glove of Francisco and into shallow left field. Presley's aboard to start the game for the Pirates.
As much as they're struggling to score runs, he is certainly trying to do his best to get some innings started, and extends his hitting streak to 12 with that slap to left just past Francisco.
That brings up Jose Tabata, hitting 200. No homers, no RBIs for this man.
It's not like he drove in a ton of runs last year. He only drove in 21 in 334 at bats. But still, especially if you got a guy on base in front of you a lot like Presley has been, it's kind of odd that he's still looking for that first RBI.
Ground ball right side. Dan took a look at second, gets the sure out at first. Presley in scoring position for McCutchen. Dan had a highlight-worthy play at second base last night, and here's the rest of the Braves defense. Martin Prado, Jason Hayward, Michael Bourne in the outfield. Night off for Chipper tonight. And it's David Ross and Randall Delgado. Here's McCutchen. He was 1 for 4, scored the lone Pirate run last night. That one got away from Ross, and Presley now 90 feet away.
Well, that'll certainly make it easier. Breaking ball. David didn't get his glove in front of it. I thought at first that he maybe had gotten crossed up with the runner at second base, but not so. No chat with the pitcher. This is an area, though, Chip, where they've really struggled with respect to getting runs in for the Pirates. A 197 average, only 2 extra base hits with runners in scoring position. Don't need a hit here. Ground out or fly out, get a run in. But they have never faced Randall Delgado before. Fastball, changeup, curveball. Just dropped a good curveball on McCutchen.
David held it there, didn't get the call. 3 balls and a strike. Well, scoring runs, obviously the story for the Pittsburgh Pirates, or the lack of run scoring. Pirates have scored just 42 times in 19 games this season. It's a little over 2 runs per game. And they've scored 1 or less 9 times. McCutchen walks. They're at the corners with 1 out for Garrett Jones.
And McCutchen will put pressure on the Braves defense because he does like to run.
So here's Jones. He's one of the Pirates that is swinging the bat pretty well. 293 average. And McCutchen Was twitching as Delgado makes that throw to first.
Yeah, Jones leads their team in RBIs. Played right field last night, playing first tonight. Got to keep his bat in the lineup.
High fly to center. That ball's going to carry out to Michael Bourne. He'll make the catch. Presley will tag and he will score. McCutchen alertly moves up to second on a sacrifice fly from Garrett Jones, and Pittsburgh has scored in the first inning.
RBI number 8 for Jones, and he can thank the wild pitch that helped set it up.
That brings up second baseman Neil Walker. Walker at 230 and 5 RBIs. Counted in, ball 1.
Pirates have the 1 run already here in the first inning. It is an amazing stat for this team. When they score 2 runs or more, they're 8-2. That's how good their pitching's been. They have not won a game with 1. So if you're Eric Bedard, you're sitting over thinking, okay, you know, we're halfway there.
Just one more,
Just
please.
one more.
Not exactly Jack Morris. I've never lost with 10.
No.
Will they green light Walker 3-0? Too far outside. Delgado with a couple of first inning walks. And Roger McDowell has spotted something. He's out very quickly in this first inning.
Well, that goes to the Ford key. You got to make these guys put the ball in play. As much as they're struggling, you can't help them out. Pitching around McCutchen, putting runners at first and third. Okay. You can figure that was not totally unexpected. But get ahead in the count and then operate with your changeup and breaking ball if you need to.
Pedro Alvarez, the Pirates' third baseman, 6th man to hit in the inning, has 2 on and 2 out. And they keep waiting, Joe, for this guy to figure it out at the big league level and be a big offensive star. It has not happened yet for him in a Pirate uniform.
You know, and the reports are that he's a hard worker, and maybe has too many people in his ear trying to get him going. There is such a thing as taking too much batting practice and listening to too many people when you've already got a hitting coach and a manager who's a good hitting coach in his own right.
Alvarez, the number 2 overall pick in the draft in 2008. Ooh, that one called a strike.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was going to call it a ball. Late call.
And Randall's gone down and in a couple of times to these Pirates hitters and hasn't gotten many calls. Got it that time. And now Alvarez behind in the count. And Alvarez is finished in the first inning. Alex Presley with a leadoff single scores on a Garrett Jones sacrifice fly, and the Pirates have struck first in Atlanta. See if the red-hot Braves offense can put him in front for the first time. Here's the batting order this evening. No Chipper Jones. He's fine. No Brian McCann. We'll talk about Brian's injury situation in just a few moments. David Ross working behind the plate. And it's Eric Bedard, man that's gotten very little offensive support, making his 5th start.
He's 11 years older than Randall Delgado, 6'1", 200 pounds, originally from Ontario, Canada. There are his numbers, 2.63 ERA, but he's 0-4. He's been shut out once and given 1 run to work with in his other 3 starts. His 4 keys to success tonight. There are 4 lefties in the lineup tonight for Atlanta, and lefties come into the game just 1 for 13 against him, and 2 would be nice. 2 runs to work with. He hasn't had as many as 2 all year.
And Michael Bourne, one of those left-handed batters facing Bedard, and quickly Michael ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. High fly right center field. Long run McCutchen. He's still going, and it's caught in right by Tabata. Little scissors action in right center field. And Jose brings it home for out number 1.
Bedard's got good stuff. He's got good sinking action on his fastball, breaking ball, sinker. Lack of run support, however, on our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard, the reason he is 0-4. There's another area, too, that the last couple of games have been a problem for him. And that is that over his last 12 innings of work, he's walked 8 guys. So make him throw you a strike, make him get the ball up.
Martin Prado looks at that pitch out of the zone. The count now even 1-1. Martin had 2 hits, a run, and an RBI last night. He's batting .267.
As you watch Bedard work from our center field camera, we really don't have the Exmo technology set in here. He just is slow and deliberate.
But you like this signing for Pittsburgh, huh?
I think it's a terrific pickup. I think it really helped their rotation. Just a few runs to work with. He might easily be 4-0 instead of 0-4. Opening day, he pitched their opening game against Halladay and the Phillies and got beat 1-0.
Base hit Martin. So, partner, you talked about how Bedard has handled left-handers this year. Righties have had a lot more fun, and Prado has some tonight.
Yeah, Martin's tearing right-handers or left-handers up. Came in hitting .379 against lefties. Got a big sweeping breaking ball that he weighted back on nicely here.
Now Freddie Freeman. That's yanked foul. I was joking with Freddie before the game. He said, you know, I'd really like to just have a little blooper fall in. A little broken bat flare. I said, you hit the ball too hard.
He hit a home run off Bedard last year in Seattle.
Before the game today, Freddie was presented with his Player of the Week watch. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 10 games. 3 homers and 14 RBIs in that stretch. Just missed inside. 1-2.
His average not as high as Prado's against lefties, but it's darn good. He's hitting .314 coming in against left-handed pitching.
And that's hugely important considering the number of left-handed starters the Braves have faced in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, and they're 6-4 now against left-handed starters. There are his splits.
Over the outside corner. And Freddie's called down on a third strike. And 2 are out.
It wasn't a quick pitch, but it was a slide step. So he really broke out of his stretch in a quick way and fired that crossfire fastball to the outside corner. And may have caught Freddie not flat-footed, but a little surprised at how quick he came out of the stretch there. No leg kick, just stepped and popped.
2 outs for Dan Uggla. And another Brave doing good work against lefties. What a difference a year makes.
Yeah, by comparison, vast improvement over last year against left-handed pitching. And we talked last night about the double he hit into, well, really was right center field, and how he's been hitting the ball that way more. Big bases loaded double on a pitch up. Easily scored 2, and then 2 more came around on Chipper's base hit right after that.
He's got a big hole right side if he wants to try to fill it with a 2-1 count. It's up and away, 3 balls and a strike. Jason Hayward waits next. Two on, 2 out. There's one of those walks Joe was talking about from Bedard. And now Jason Hayward bats, looking for his first hit in the series. Here's Clint Hurdle's defensive alignment. Presley, McCutchen, and Tabata left to right in the outfield. Alvarez and Garrett Jones, the cornermen. Neil Walker and Clint Parmas up the middle. And Rod Barajas back behind the plate.
Jason was out for some extra batting practice today off the machine. They set the machine up in front of the mound, and working with Greg Walker on adjusting to fastballs and shortening up some things to try to get the barrel of the bat to some fastballs from the machine, which was a good test for him. As Tim Hudson said, that machine would be a Cy Young Award winner. Or was it 20-game winner?
You win 20, you've got a good chance at the Cy, right? 1 ball, no strikes. And Tim Hudson's going to join us on air tonight. Stick around for that. He'll be with us in the 3rd inning. Can't wait to see Tim back and pitching here at Turner Field. That'll be tomorrow afternoon.
One of the things they were working on today was trying to get Jason's bottom half set. Get it set, then allow the hands to work. Try not to sway too much to the front side. Really, A.J. Burnett last night is the first pitcher the Braves have faced this season that was a real hard thrower, that was in the mid-90 range, and I'm talking about as a starter. Faced a lot of finesse guys, a lot of breaking stuff or sinker ball pitchers. They hadn't seen anybody really bringing it.
High fly center field. McCutchen in a couple of steps. He's got it. And the side is retired. Braves put a couple of runners on, fail to break through in the first inning, and the Pirates lead early. Doors by AT by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. 1-0 Pittsburgh heading to the second inning. Bottom part of their order will start things against Randall Delgado. Alex Presley scored a first inning run for Pittsburgh tonight. Barmes, Barajas, and Bedard, the killer bees for the Buccos. And a strike to the Pittsburgh shortstop. Popped up to short. Tyler's there. He's got it. And Barmes is the first out. Rod Barajas had his 3-game hitting streak interrupted last night. One of the big at-bats in the game came with Rod in the batter's box in the fourth inning. He hit to a 5-3 double play after Pittsburgh had loaded the bases and had scored a run. That helped Tommy Hanson greatly. Tommy went 6 innings last night, 6 hits and a run. Chris Medlin, a 3-inning save for the Braves. First 3-inning save for an Atlanta relief pitcher since Kenshin Kawakami turned the trick. Lined, and Pasternicki misjudged that ball, and Barajas aboard with 1 out.
Like he jumped too soon. Maybe he didn't see that ball off the bat very well because he was jumping, but his glove wasn't in the air. That was an odd one.
So Bedard will bunt, and Francisco will handle. David Ross, good hustle, moves down the third base line to cover the third base bag on the pitcher's sacrifice. Runner at second, and 2 are out. Georgia Power customers can get a free in-home energy audit performed by an energy expert from Georgia Power. Learn ways to save money and energy around your home. To schedule an in-home energy audit, go to georgiapower.com.
2 down here, and I know Presley's a threat to bunt, but in this situation, okay, go ahead and bunt. Don't let it compromise your defensive alignment. And as such, Francisco was right on the edge of the grass, and as that pitch was being delivered, he backed up right away, backpedaled about 4 or 5 steps. Got to try and knock the ball down here and keep another run from scoring if he does hit it on the ground.
Two balls and a strike.
Back-to-back good fastballs in good spots.
Three and two.
Tabata on deck, grounded out his first time up. He's having a tough time of it. Right-hander's not hitting a lick this year so far, really, against Delgado. See what they do here with Presley.
Line down the left field line. That's into the corner. Barajas will come home and score. Presley a big turnaround second. And he'll stop there. Presley's double to left gives Pittsburgh an early 2-0 lead.
Well, there's the 2 runs for Bedard that he hasn't had all year. And again, when they score 2 or more, they're 8-2. Hanging breaking ball. They weren't going to give in and throw a fastball with first base open, but they weren't planning on a hanging breaking ball either.
So Jose Tabata bats with 2 in for Pittsburgh.
And that line drive that looked like it could have been caught, that was hit over Pasternicki's head, comes back to roost too.
That's foul past third. Don't know if the ball knuckled. We won't know until the game's over. Don't know if Tyler lost that ball in the stands for some reason. As I look down behind the Braves on deck circle, about midway up in the lower bowl, there is a little splash of sunshine. Don't know if that was in his line of sight when the ball came off Barajas's bat. But it was an odd looking play, odd looking jump.
When you look at the Pirates lineup tonight, it's easy to see why they are scuffling so much with some guys that are off to such slow starts. Tabata at the plate now, just 11 for 56. Alvarez just 7 hits, although he's hitting some homers. And Barmas and Barajas, although Barajas had the base hit this inning, had come in 5 for his last 5 for 44 on the year. Now 6 for 45. Those guys are really having a hard time of it. 4 of them in their lineup tonight.
Tabata had a good cut. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Liner into right. Hayward plays it on a big hop. Presley around third. Throw to the plate. Short hops Ross. It's 3-0 Pittsburgh, and Tabata into second on the throw.
Thought they were going to get him. First RBI of the year for Tabata. And hard hit, too. Jason got it on one hop. But a short hop toss to Ross that was tough for him to handle. He tried to go out and kind of smother it and didn't get it.
Pittsburgh 3-0 now. Presley scored 2 of those runs, and now McCutchen bats. Strike one, so very important for Randall Delgado. It doesn't seem like he's thrown strike one much.
No, he's having a hard time.
Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Official score on that play ruled that Tabata sequence a single and an E2 on David Ross.
Yeah, typically when that happens on a short hop, the recipient doesn't get the error. It's the guy who made the throw.
Three balls and a strike to McCutchen. Very dangerous count.
As we talked at the beginning of the season, Ivan Hernandez already beginning to loosen up for Atlanta. How hitting becomes contagious. The Braves hitters have talked that way. Same thing you could apply to Pittsburgh and their struggles. If they get this with this early lead tonight, that's going to help them loosen up a lot against the guy that they don't know. Maybe they saw Delgado in spring training, but perhaps knowing that they've already got 3 on the board, they don't really have a whole lot of respect for Randall Delgado. They'll go up there freewheeling it. You throw it, we'll hit it. Not concerned about his stuff or falling behind in the count.
McCutchen swings and misses, and that ends the Pittsburgh second. 2 more runs come across, however, and the Pirates, for them, a very big lead. For the bottom of the second inning, earlier tonight, Matty Diaz got a chance to warm up Randall Delgado. With Brian McCann hurting himself last night, Matt Diaz would be the Braves' emergency catcher. And it sounds, Joe, like the news regarding Brian is relatively good news.
Yeah, we'll take it as good news if he only misses a couple of days. He said before the game that he thought he would be back in there on Monday and available in a pinch if they really needed him to get behind the plate. And I don't mean a pinch like a pinch hit appearance either. They'd rather him not play at all for the next couple of days.
So David Ross gets the start tonight. And had a healthy cut, 1 ball, 1 strike. Does it concern you the Braves have, frankly, one healthy catcher?
I asked Freddie Gonzalez that question before the game, and he was not overly concerned about it with respect to what might happen if, heaven forbid, something happened to David. Matt Diaz may be more concerned about it than Freddie.
Yeah. Ross pops it up. This ball tailing toward right. Tabata comes in. Wynn was playing some tricks with that baby, wasn't it? And David's out number 1.
Talked about the lack of run support for Eric Bedard through the year. So far, his first 4 starts, 2 runs, tonight 3.
Juan Francisco, the batter. Juan at 258. Big swing and a miss. Another pop, shallow right. This one will be corralled by Walker, Pirates second baseman. 2 up, 2 down for Pasternaky. Tyler had a big 2-out hit in the 4th inning last night. That gave the Braves a 2-1 lead. They didn't relinquish. They also walked and scored. Two balls and a strike. 31 pitches for Bedard, just 17 strikes. He's walked a man, he's struck out a man, but he leads 3-0.
One of the things about batting 8, especially with a 3-1 count, is the willingness to take some pitches even on hitters' counts that might earn you a free pass and get the pitcher up there.
Line right field for Tyler, a 2-out single. And that will clear the pitcher, and it allows Randall Delgado to bat for the first time.
Another one of those sweet strokes for Tyler, going the other way. Leading with his hands, getting the barrel of the bat in the right angle to go the other way and hitting it solidly.
Delgado takes a ball low.
Pretty good cut right there.
Yeah. Turn it loose. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty good fastball. Not the shortest swing I've seen tonight.
Ball 2.
Maybe he can find a hole in first and third for Michael Bourne, who had a real good cut his first time up.
Breaking ball gets Delgado, and that retires the Braves in the home half of the 2nd inning. 3-0 Pittsburgh, with Garrett Jones set to lead things off in the 3rd. Now that's not our McDonald. That's an even better look for you. That's our McDonald's fan of the game. Got 3 of those?
I do not, but I'm going to have to go shopping. Good thing about that one is he can just wave his head from side to side and cool everybody off around him.
And on a hot night, that's not a bad thing. Good luck as we get back after it here in the 3rd inning. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Sacrifice fly brought home the first Pirate run in the 1st inning. 2 runs on 3 hits and an error in the Pittsburgh 2nd. Now Delgado with strike 1. And David might have a glove problem.
I'll have to give that one to the relacing specialist, Dr. Porter. But Jim Lovell is going to take over and do the relacing instead.
Healthy cut for Jones. He missed it. No balls, 2 strikes. High fly ball to left. And Martinez got it. And that's out number 1. Delta Airlines is a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. As you saw, the hands of Jim Lovell getting ready to relace David Ross's catcher's mitt. Strike 1 to Neil Walker.
That tool Lovey had in his hand is like a giant needle with a wooden handle on it. It's got an opening in the end like an eye of a needle where you can thread the leather through there. And then that tool helps push the leather through the openings in the glove to patch it.
A ball and 2 strikes. From 0-2 to 3-2 now. Neil Walker up, Pedro Alvarez on deck. And a line drive into left field. Give Walker his 2nd hit of the series, his 1st tonight.
Sometimes when Delgado's trying to put guys away and really throw his best fastball for a strike, or throw a ball by some guys, his front side will fly open. Good piece of hitting there by Walker to go the other way with that pitch. But when he does fly open and that left shoulder flies open, then his arm flies out too, and it's hard for him to find the strike zone. Ball sails toward the right-handed batter's box. It's just a young guy trying to get a little extra on his fastball.
One of your keys tonight was let the Pirates put the ball in play.
Yeah, make them hit the ball. Trust your defense. Remember too, when we talked in his last start in Arizona, we discussed how with runners on base he has a tendency to really speed everything up too. And Roger McDowell and the catchers were trying to get him to slow that down a little bit.
Does that fall into the category of the old baseball truism, trust your stuff?
Yeah, but the speeding up has to do with the base runner and not so much trying to speed up to hurry to throw harder. His is an effort to keep a guy from getting a good jump.
That is right down the third base line and fair. Pedro Alvarez kisses the chalk for 90 feet. And Pirates runners are at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Now that looked like it went right over the bag. And he goes the other way. Landed in foul territory after it crossed the base, but it went over the base fair.
Maybe an encouraging sign for the Pirates and Pedro Alvarez. That's the kind of hitter he was in college. Foul line to foul line guy. And he has his 2nd double of the season. Another meeting with Roger McDowell now. That'll give the Braves bullpen some time to work. Remember, Livan Hernandez was up an inning ago.
They had 6 hits last night in the game, and they all came in the first 5 innings. I know Barajas is coming up after Barmas, and Alvarez just got one off the end of the bat. But you're in the part of the order that we showed a minute ago where 3 of the 4 guys that are really struggling in their lineup are coming up.
Barmas popped out his first and only time up. The Braves bring the infield in now with 2 on and 1 away in the 3rd inning. Little pop. Long run Freeman back to the first base bag. And he couldn't come up with a very, very tough play. Strike 2.
If he makes that catch, Walker's going to tag and try to score. And that would be the smart base running move with the guy running away from home plate. But that would have been a play I would have liked to have watched take place, because Freddie Freeman has one of the best arms on the team.
Barmas is down on 3 pitches. That's a big lift for Delgado. Now the infield can back up with 2 outs.
Chased a bad ball up and out of the zone. That helps the defense a lot. They're going to put Barajas on.
So Pittsburgh will have him loaded for Eric Bedard with 2 outs.
When Barajas was up last time, he had a line drive that seemed to sail over the head of Tyler Pasternack, and he eventually came around to score. They got 2 runs in the inning. But it was odd to me the way Tyler played the ball. Now watch, Tyler will take a step to his left on this and then have to reach back to his right. And the funny thing to me was that he jumped. He's in the air, but his arms aren't in the air. It's odd to see somebody jump without using their arms to help elevate themselves. So I'm not sure what happened there. What if the ball played a trick on him, if it hooked, if it knuckled. But he's in the air and his arms are at his side, or at most, chest high.
And that Barajas hit turned into the 2nd run. Now Bedard sprays one into shallow left center field. Michael Bourne had him played absolutely perfectly. And Bedard's bid for a big hit is thwarted in the top of the inning. Tim Hudson's going to debut tomorrow, but he'll be on the air with us when we come back to Atlanta. 3-0 Pirates in front. Quick 3-0 lead. Can't wait for a big comeback tonight and the return of Tim Hudson tomorrow. He's ready to make his season debut against the Pirates in Game 3 of this 4-game series. And in case you forgot what Tim Hudson looks like, there he is. Hello, Tim.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hey, I don't want to concern you, but the reports are that the Pirates are calling up about 8 guys out of A-ball to put in the lineup against you tomorrow.
Oh, gosh. I hope not. I hope not. Have to get Medlin back in the pen then tomorrow. Get ready to come in about the second inning.
I was to say, between pitching an A-ball and the pitching machine, you've had a rough week, huh?
No kidding. No kidding, right? Those kids, man, they come out and swing it. They don't mess around. You got to swing your way out of A-ball.
How's the back feeling?
Back's feeling really good. Really good. I'm going to tell you, it's something I'm not really concerned with anymore. You know, it's just nice to go out there and worry about pitching and making pitches and not worry about, having to, nurse your back and treat it for, 4 days after you pitch.
I loved your quote that you gave Carol Rogers in the newspaper this afternoon. It'll be refreshing, you said, to not feel like Fred Sanford the day after you pitch.
Yeah. It's for a while, for a few years, man. It's always usually kind of rough after the day after you pitch, but the last few years it was really rough, and you don't really realize how bad it was until I got it fixed, and I'm walking around and it's feeling great. It's feeling really good. I can't. It's one of the best things I've ever done is get that thing fixed and ready to go.
How hard is it when you're the ace of the staff? How hard is it not to be a part of the team for the first 3 weeks of the season, just trying to get ready?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But these guys have done a great job coming in and giving us a good chance to win. It's fun watching these young kids go out there and do their thing, especially Beachy and Miner, what they've been able to do. They're really establishing themselves as not just solid major league pitchers, but top of the rotation type of arms, and that's fun to watch their development. But I do want to get out there. I love to compete, and I love to go out there every 5th day and give my team a chance to win. And I'm glad to finally have that opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
After Michael Bourne strikes out, Martin Prado bats. He's got a hit tonight and is down a quick strike. Must be fun to think about pitching for a club, Tim. In the last 16 games, is averaging over 6 runs a game, huh?
That's right. That's right. It's nice. I was out in Arizona with you guys, and it was fun to watch out there, and then went on to L.A. and took the series out there. It's great. As a starting pitcher, it's so comforting to know that your offense is going out there and having some at bats with some confidence, and they're putting up crooked numbers, and in turn it makes your job a lot easier because you can go out there and you can be more aggressive and you can take some chances, and you can be more aggressive in the strike zone, and you don't have to worry about if you give up 2 or 3 runs if you're going to lose or not, because you have confidence that your guys are going to put up 5 or 6 or 7. And I think it's kind of a chain reaction. The good hitting helps the pitchers be better, and the other way around. When the pitchers are pitching with confidence, it makes those guys relax and have some good at bats.
Tim, at this level, everybody's got to do homework before their next start, and certainly this will be no different for you getting ready for the Pirates, but this is a ball club that's really struggled scoring runs. Would you rather it be that way or somebody that's been hot?
Well, obviously, you'd rather not face a red hot team, regardless of when you're facing them. But, you have to respect every club. Nice.
That gets by McCutchen. Martin Prado on his way to second. Tabata, a nice job to back up the play.
Sweet.
And Martin Prado's in scoring position. He's there for the second time tonight. And a chance for the Braves to cut into this Pirate lead.
So the fact is, you've got to do your job and be ready to pitch no matter who it is.
You have to. I mean, there's, any club can be dangerous, and any club can beat you on any given night. And they have some talent over there. They have some guys that can really swing the bat, even though they've struggled to score runs so far this year. They have the potential to, put up some crooked numbers on you. And you have to be on top of your game. I'm gonna go out tomorrow and pitch them just as tough as I would anybody.
Any restrictions, any pitch counts in mind? Have you and Freddie talked about that? Is that something you worry about tomorrow?
Now, for me, I don't feel like there's any limitations. I got up to 100 pitches, 110 pitches, and into the 6th inning, my last rehab start, and I felt like I could have gone deeper. But it's I feel good, man. I feel better this year than I have in a long time. So I'm excited to get out there and start trying to get some big league hitters out.
Well, Tim, we can't wait to see you tomorrow. I know you've got an early night planned tonight. Get home, get some rest, give our best to the family, and we'll see you at the ballpark tomorrow.
We'll do it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Opening day for Tim Hudson tomorrow. Right. Freddie Freeman, the batter. He struck out looking in the first inning. Ball one, strike one. Bedard just wears out left-handed hitters. They were 1 for 13 against him coming into play tonight. Big lefty in there for Atlanta now is first baseman Freddie Freeman, looking for his 16th RBI.
Bedard signed with the Orioles and worked his way through their system and had a couple of years back-to-back in 2006 and 2007. He went 15 and 11 and then 13 and 5. And in 2007, 13 and 5, a 3.16 ERA. He struck out 221 batters in 182 innings. A great year.
When you think of this guy, you think high risk because he's been hurt almost every year in the big leagues, with the exception of that one season you mentioned. But obviously, the high reward, if he can make 30 starts, it gives you an excellent chance to win Major League ball games.
He was traded to Seattle for 5 players, including Adam Jones, their current center fielder.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Freddie somehow stayed alive. That ball was almost in the glove of Rob Barajas.
Slider down and away, may have been a bit of a cutter, but in a good spot, trying to put it in a place Freddie couldn't reach it, but those long arms just foul tipped it. Got a chance to bust one inside here now after getting to reach. Let's see if they go in. Tried, but he spoiled that too.
It's off Freeman's foot, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Right off the toe, too. He's already had a bruised and sore foot from another foul ball, but does not want to wear a shin guard.
Good at bat.
He's spoiling some really good pitches too. Bedard's keeping the ball low. A couple of them away, one of them running in. Ninth pitch coming up.
And Freddie's down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Bedard.
Now, when one wasn't exactly elevated, but it was a little bit higher and maybe just a little bit farther off the plate.
So it's up to Dan Uglow, who walked in the first inning. One ball, no strikes.
Kind of the way he worked Dan in the first inning is it was like he didn't want to give Dan a chance to hit one out. He'd rather take his chances with Jason Hayward, a left-handed hitter.
Atlanta has 3 hits tonight. Martin Prado, a right-hand hitter, has 2 of them. Tyler Pastornicki has the other one. That was a single to right field. Lined into left center field. That'll get down for a hit. Prado will score, and the Braves are on the board. It's a 3-1 game.
Talked about this in our opening comments about the Braves' improved situational hitting, and in this case clutch hitting, like a changeup that he left up. Made a mistake. Dan made him pay, and the Braves are on the board and only down by 2. Fourteenth RBI for Dan.
Jason fly to center, his first time up. Here are the lefty righty splits again for Bedard. He was left-hand hitters were 1 for 13 against him coming in. Oh, 2.
Well, Freddie Gonzalez said before the game that he would have preferred for Matt Diaz to play tonight, which means that Prado would have played third instead of the left-handed hitting Francisco. But because of Matt's situation as the emergency catcher, he didn't want to take a chance on something happening to Matt and hold him back in reserve.
Breaking ball, and Jason takes strike 3. Bedard strikes out the side in the 3rd, but surrenders his first run. Dan Uglow's 14th RBI plates Martin Prado, and we head to the 4th. The fourth inning. Randall Delgado's had a lot of base runners. Atlanta finally touched up Eric Bedard. At the top of the Pirates order has done some serious damage early tonight.
Yeah, too many Pirate hats on that update, and the reason for it is some good hitting, some situational hitting for the Pirates tonight. Check this out. They have 6 hits. There's 1 opposite field. There's 2. There's 3 of the 6 opposite field. There's another one opposite field. Another one opposite field. So your Home Depot tools from the dugout. A good approach tonight by the Pirates hitters and going the other way on Delgado. It's paid off for them so far.
But the Braves bats gave Randall a run back. It's now a 3-1 game. And the top of the Pirates orders coming up. It's Presley, Tabata, and McCutchen.
Needs a quick inning too.
Alex Presley's 4 for 6 in the series. Pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another try the opposite field. Pasternicki up to the task. 1 away in the 4th. Trivia time. Joe's on a 1-game winning streak. Our AT&T Uverse trivia question: who was the last Pirate with more than 40 stolen bases in a season?
Bonds ever steal 40?
I was thinking Tony Womack.
That's be a good choice too.
Omar Moreno. When they played on the turf. One ball, 1 strike to Tabata. He has an RBI hit. An RBI, his first run batted in this year.
That one was by him. I'm surprised he got a little piece of that one. How far back this one was. Oh, that literally was in the glove.
That one is too, but it's Dan Uggla's glove.
How did he hit that ball in the air? I thought only Phil Mickelson could do that. Huh. Wow. Good pitch, good result.
So far so good for Randall. 2 quick outs. Here's McCutchen. And he takes the ball low. Already 80 pitches on the night.
3 straight 20+ innings. That's why he needed a quick inning.
You ever wonder why Clint Hurdle has such strong facial features? He is wearing out that bubble gum.
Must be good gum.
To third. Francisco gets a friendly hop, loads up, and that's just what the doctor ordered for Randall Delgado. His first 1-2-3 inning in the game. Bottom portion of the Braves batting order back to work, down 3-1. In Atlanta. Let's see if the Braves can turn this score around. They trail 3-1 in the fourth inning. It'll start with catcher David Ross, then Juan Francisco, then Tyler Pasternacki. Eric Bedard has been given a whopping lead as he tries to win his first game of the season. He's 0-4. Liner and caught at second by Walker, who was playing right up the middle.
I think all these line drives that pitchers are having to duck from the Braves bats are indicative of their approach compared to last year, in that so many guys are thinking up the middle, or maybe even for a right-handed hitter, right center field, and they're just banging some shots right back at the pitcher. It's great.
And we saw Johan Santana duck a couple of times. Yeah. Of course, Javi Guerra in Los Angeles. That one just over the head of Bedard here in the fourth inning.
Evan Meek last night turned into a pretzel catching one.
One ball, one strike. And on deck, batter is Tyler Pasternacki. He's on a good offensive run.
Already a base hit tonight.
Another strikeout. That's 6. And 2 outs. The Braves are proud to welcome American Idol champ and country music sensation Scotty McCreery to Turner Field on Saturday, May 26th. The concert's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta. It's a free post-game concert when you buy a ticket to the ball game. Visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000.
Speaking of having balls hit back at the pitcher, I think Scotty's back in school and playing for his high school team. Got a comebacker hit to him the other day that sent shockwaves through all of the teeny bopper teen idols that came up off his glove, hit him in the throat. But he's okay. Says his voice will be fine.
I never knew you were such an American Idol fan.
Well, that was ESPN headlines.
Oh. No balls, 2 strikes. And Bedard is twirling a beauty tonight. He's got 7 strikeouts through the game's first 4 innings, and more importantly for the Pirates, he leads the game.
You know, guys come to the park, Chip, they want to sit back, have a couple of beers, talk about the ball game. Hey, it's not just the guys that come to the game and celebrate. The girls are here. The bride-to-be and her bridesmaids. Give me that beer.
I'm ready.
Gonna be late for the ceremony. I don't care. Give me another beer.
Garrett Jones leads off the Pittsburgh 5th. Shaky start for Delgado. Runs allowed in the first 2 innings. Got out of trouble in the 3rd. Had a 1-2-3 in the 4th. Garrett tonight at the plate. 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. Right on that pitch. 0-2.
I just think it's great that the girls, you know, if this is the bachelorette party, decided they wanted to come to a ball game. See, I think that's wonderful. And they're really glad it was a 7 o'clock start. Because I don't think 9 innings will end that party.
No, probably not. I like the sashes too. I mean, everybody knows who's who, knows where they're supposed to sit. The bride's got the white dress on, ready to go.
Bale. Good changeup.
Delgado strikes out his first man in the 5th inning. That's his 3rd overall in the game. Jones retired for Walker, who has walked and has singled. Walker at 242 now for the season. And we talked a lot in this series already about Pittsburgh's offensive problems through all of that, because their pitching's been so good. Pirates come into play tonight. Only 3 games under break even. They're 8-11 under Clint Hurdle.
And I believe that's the same record they had last year at this time. You know, remember we were talking last night about what a good spot they were in when they came to town. They were in first place in the Central Division when they played the Braves here last year. Lost a couple of extra inning games and everything really went south. But they started the year last year at 8-11.
High fly toward the left field corner. That's trouble. That's going to hit off the middle of the fence. That ball carried a mile out there by Walker. And he'll stand at second base with a double. He's 2 for 2.
That is his first extra base hit of the year. Switch hitter, guy that they had a lot of hopes for. Pretty solid hitter, and he got a high fastball. And he goes the other way like all their other hits. Almost hits it out of the park. That close to getting it out of here. That's his 15th, 16th hit of the year and his first extra base hit.
And 7 hits for Pittsburgh tonight. Here's Alvarez. He had a seeing eye ball down the third baseline that bounced over the bag for a 2-base hit in the 3rd inning.
Ivan Hernandez loosening up again in the Atlanta pen.
Randall's spot is due first when the Braves come up in the 5th inning. .94 pitches, 55 strikes so far for Delgado tonight.
Pirates came in hitting under 200 with men in scoring position. They're 2 for 6 tonight.
David Ross knocked that ball down enough to keep Walker at second.
Watch David move on this block and how quick he's on it. That would give you the impression that he's kind of a scat back type guy back there. And well, he is, but he's a big guy. He cracked me up. I mean, he's a funny guy to begin with, but he cracked me up walking through the clubhouse tonight before the game. I said, hey, go get him tonight. And he goes, don't talk to me. I'm a starter.
Great. Three balls, 2 strikes. That's ripped into right. Jason Hayward going back. That's over his head and off the wall. Walker got a late break around second, but he will score without a play. And the Pirates have back-to-back extra base hits. 2 doubles for Alvarez. And RBI number 7 extends the Pittsburgh lead to 4-1.
Little sampling of how quick this kid's bat is. Despite his struggles, turned on that fastball and knocked Delgado out of the game.
So Randall, 4 innings and a third tonight, 4 strikeouts. He's walked 3 men and he's allowed 4 so far. Ivan Hernandez coming in out of the Braves bullpen. By Hyundai, by the Home Depot, and by Georgia Power. 4-1 Pirates. Pittsburgh continues to bat in the top of the 5th inning. Time for our AT call to the bullpen. And say hello to right-hander Livan Hernandez. He'll try to slow down the Buccos in this 5th inning.
Yeah, stop the bleeding here and give the offense a chance to catch up. Did a great job in relief the other night in Los Angeles in game 1 of that series. He went 4 1/3 innings of relief. He did give up 2 runs, but they were in his last inning of work. Walked 1, struck out 1.
Foul back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike to Clint Barmes. No other changes for Atlanta. Livan came in straight up for Delgado. His spot 9th on the Braves lineup card. That spot's due first when the Braves bat in this inning. We'll see how Freddie Gonzalez manages the bullpen tonight. As Barmes hits it a mile high left center. Bourne drifts back a few steps, makes the grab. Alvarez tags and moves to third base with 2 outs. Barajas is up, base is open, pitcher due next. Braves will put him on, take their chances with Bedard. Here's a stat for you.
Lay it on me.
Pittsburgh has seen Rod Barajas walked intentionally twice tonight. How many intentional walks they had as a team coming in? 0.
No fooling.
Those are the first 2 intentional walks that their offense has received from any pitching in National League play this year. That's hard to do. So here's Bedard. 1 in, 2 on, 2 outs, 5th inning, 4-1 game. Mentioned the big trade that brought Bedard to Seattle. It's really remarkable that this man is pitching. Tommy John surgery, labrum surgery, knee surgery. He's had oblique problems.
Now, after the Braves beat him last June in Seattle, he made 1 more start. I don't think he got out of the 2nd inning, the shortest start of his career because of a strained knee. And it wasn't too long after that, when he came back from the disabled list, that the Mariners traded him to Boston. He went 5-9 altogether with both Seattle and Boston. Had a decent ERA of 3.62.
Rolled to the right side. Livan Hernandez does indeed put out the fire in the 5th inning. Pittsburgh scores their 4th run. That's charged to Randall Delgado. And Livan is due first when we come up in the bottom of the 5th inning. by the Georgia Lottery, by Honda Lawn and Garden, and by Ram Trucks. Bottom 5, 4-1. Pittsburgh has the lead. We're in the middle innings of Game 2. 2 more left with the Pirates. Here are the matchups on our Jameson and upcoming schedule.
You know, we talked to Tim Hudson earlier tonight. He's anxious to get his season underway tomorrow afternoon. He'll go against Kevin Correa, who's off to a good start. Part of that good pitching staff the Pirates have assembled. Correa has given the Braves fits in the past. And then James McDonald against Mike Minor. McDonald also last year in Pittsburgh pitched a real good game against the Braves on a Sunday day game, as I recall. So good matchups each of the next 2 days.
So Levon will stay in the game. He'll hit for himself. And he starts the Braves 5th. Hernandez, Bourne, and Prado coming up against Eric Bedard, who has struck out 7 men and has walked but 1. Saw the numbers on Hernandez. He's always been able to handle the bat. And he's ahead 2-0. A 4-pitch walk to Levon Hernandez.
Guy's just dealing too. Struck out 7, just wearing out the hitters, and then a 4-pitch walk to Levon. That's great.
Now the top of the order, Michael Bourne. He's flied out and struck out. He's missed with 5 straight to start the 5th inning. Six in a row.
One of his better fastballs tonight, thrown in anger. 89.
Grounded right side. Walker. Bedard a little late to the bag, and all hands are safe. And that will bring the potential tying run to the plate. An infield hit.
First hit by a left-handed hitter tonight, too. Braves will take it just out of the reach here of Jones. And then with Bedard a little late getting off the mound, it was going to be a foot race. And you know who's going to win that one.
Now Pedro Alvarez, the Pirates' third baseman, in to talk to Bedard with Martin Prado up. Prado's already 2 for 2 in the game with a run scored.
Martin wants Kerwin Danley to check the baseball. And apparently it was all right. Braves 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. That was the 2-out RBI hit by Ugla in the 3rd.
One away, 1 ball, no strikes. Prado, Freeman, and Uggla do next.
One of the things Martin was working on in batting practice today, Chip, was trying to hit the ball to the right side, trying to hit the ball to right field, assuming that Bedard was going to pitch him away, work his sinkers down and away, try to backdoor him with some breaking balls. But both his hits tonight have been pulled, including the double.
He backs up 2 nifty breaking balls. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And they act as a changeup too. They're 76 miles an hour. Big loopy curveball.
Popped up. That's going to stay in play for Jones at first. So Martin Prado pops out. And here's Freddie Freeman, who has struck out twice.
Here's something that we talk about a lot, about a guy that doesn't throw an overpowering fastball, but he makes his fastball so effective by the way he uses his other pitches. Just like he set Martin up there with those 2 back-to-back good curveball strikes. And Martin's placed in a position to be a little defensive, but man, he zipped that fastball in on his hands, tied him up, and nothing Martin could do with it.
Good rip by Freddie Freeman.
He got a good pitch to hit, but late on it. About belt high down the middle and at 89.
Nothing in 2.
That one away from him, and I think Freddie tied himself up more there than the pitch did. Really diving into the plate.
Protect mode, and he did. It's out of play, still 0-2.
Well, he struck out twice tonight, and the last one was on in a bat kind of like this, where he was fighting off some really good pitches, and then eventually struck out on a fastball that was up more than the others.
Change up grip. Let's see what he does. 0-2. That one gets away from Barajas. It ricochets off Kerwin Danley's mask, and the Braves move up 90 feet. Let's see if the umpire's all right. Did Barajas get leather on that pitch?
If he did, it was just like a foul tip off his glove that got Kerwin Danley square. Wow. I mean, that knocked him to his knees. You know, the one thing that's so hard to do in this case for the umpire is not to duck. I mean, that pitch was coming right at him, and the tendency is, or the flinch is, to kind of duck. And when he does, that hits a part of the mask. It may not be quite as secure as the front of the mask is.
I can't remember who the home plate umpire was. It was a week 10 days ago in Steven Strasburg's start. The Nationals catcher missed a Strasburg fastball, and it caught the umpire flush right in the midsection.
Oh.
And Kerwin Danley luckily had that ball ricochet off his mask. Yeah, Chan, thank you. It was Greg Gibson who was hit with that pitched ball in Washington. So on we continue here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Livan Hernandez walked on 4 pitches. Moved to second on Bourne's infield hit. Prado popped out. A passed ball moves Hernandez to third, Bourne to second. Now Freddie Freeman has a 2-2 count.
Not going to be easy with the way Bedard's pitching, but boy, you just got to battle up there and try to put this ball in play. The infield back, they'll concede a run and at least cut into the lead. Get that run back the Braves gave up in the top half of the inning. Only 9 pitches last inning when he struck out 2 of the 3 guys he faced, but then started this inning with a 4-pitch walk to Livan Hernandez.
He's about to make his 7th pitch to Freddie Freeman in this at bat.
There was the changeup. You were talking about that circle change grip he had. That was not a good pitch. It was too far off the plate and too low for Freddie to offer from the beginning. Freddie picked it up right away. Big pitch in the ball game right here.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Freeman. Love the at bat. Now Barajas out to talk to Bedard, who's thrown 20 pitches in this inning. Saw Clint Hurdle go to the bullpen phone. We'll see if activity begins out there for the Pirates.
When there have been battles like this for Freeman this year, one of the places pitchers go is up. They take him up the ladder. He's such a good low ball hitter. It's hard for him to lay off high fastballs. Let's see what they do.
They struck him out. A 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and Freeman is retired on strikes for the 3rd time tonight.
Looked like they went back to the same spot where they got the strikeout in the 3rd inning. I mean, almost an identical pitch, kind of a crossfire fastball.
So Ray Searage out to talk to Bedard here. That'll give the bullpen some time, and it gives the Pirates a chance to think about, they want to face Uggla, or do you pass him or pitch around him and go after Jason Hayward even with a 3-run lead?
Naturally, they're not going to admit to walking the potential tying run, but you know that's part of the discussion here, is that if you walk him, we're not going to be all that upset.
Right. Again, when you look at Bedard's lefty-righty splits, if you just manage along with Clint Hurdle in that respect, you can see, forget the scoreboard, pitch to the guy in the batter's box or don't. That's a choice he's got to make with Dan Uggla here. He's walked and has the lone Braves RBI.
He has 13 career games of 10 strikeouts or more, and his career high is 15. That was against the Texas Rangers while he was with Baltimore, I believe. So strikeouts no stranger to him.
And he went right after him with the first pitch. Strike 1. And you're right, that 15 strikeout game, July 7th of 07. 7-7-07. He struck out 15 Rangers. That got a big piece of Barajas on a foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fastball in, breaking ball in, and then a backdoor slow curve. Looks good. You want to jump on it and drive those 2 runs in, and Dan's certainly been good at that. And already has a 2-out RBI tonight.
A slow curve gets Ugla. And Eric Bedard pitched out of a big mess of his own making in the 5th inning. 9 strikeouts through 5 frames, and he leads 4-1.
Half of the 6th inning, time for our SunTrust solid performance, which is thus far Eric Bedard's work. Mixing in his fastball, his curveball, his cutter. That slow curve has been very effective. Only 1 hit tonight by a left-handed batter. That was the infield hit by Bourne last inning, and he has fanned 9.
And it looked as he made his way into the dugout like that's going to be it for Bedard tonight. Casey McGee with a pat on the back. Clint Hurdle. And then his pitching coach Ray Searage. And down the steps toward the Pirate clubhouse he goes.
96 pitches.
We'll see if that's the case. Levon back out there now after working the base paths in the Atlanta 5th. He'll start his first full inning now with the top of the Pittsburgh order. Alex Presley is 2 for 3.
Chris Resop, former Brave, is warming up in the Pirates' pen.
Easy play at first for Freddie Freeman. Levon Hernandez had Presley off stride. And there's your first out. All season long, Braves baseball on Peachtree TV is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price. Just past 9 o'clock in Atlanta. Pittsburgh has a 4-1 lead.
How about that crazy game in Colorado last night? Mets had an early lead, like 6-2, and wound up losing 18-9.
It's an 11-run inning.
An 11-run inning for the Rockies. Scott Harrison hit for the cycle for the Mets in a losing cause.
Jose Tabata takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colorado's the first stop on our next road trip. After we wrap up this series with the Pirates, we will welcome the Phillies to town. Our first look at the Phillies Tuesday and Wednesday nights, then Thursday afternoon. Then a long trip that starts out west. Hayward in right takes care of Tabata. Play 3 with the Rockies, 3 with the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and then we head to St. Louis for a 3-game date with the Cardinals. McCutchen 0 for 2 with a walk. How'd you like to build your team around this young man's talents?
Yeah, he's a good one. Pirates have decided to do that too, because they just signed him to a nice contract extension.
Squibb towards short. Tyler gloves, grabs, guns in one motion.
Nice play.
And a nice inning for Livan Hernandez. 3 up, 3 down, top of the 6th. Bottom half coming up. Bedard appears to be done. If that's the case, Jason Hayward will take aim at a new Pirate pitcher. We'll tell you who that is when we come right back.
Coors Light 6th inning. Time for the Coors Light freeze cam and the cold train. Check this out. David Ross upset. That didn't take any effort at all from David Ross. Broke his bat in disgust over popping that one up. That bat will help kind of ease the freezing. It'll go into the wood pile. That was the Coors Light freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
And sure enough, David's due second in this 6th inning. And best news of all, Eric Bedard is indeed out of the ball game after 5 very good innings of work. The Braves will take a look at a former teammate. Chris Rhysop is on in relief. This is his 9th game of the season.
Hasn't had any luck in the win column, but his ERA good. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. See if the Braves can do a little better against the pen than they did against Bedard.
Jason's 0 for 2 tonight. Kind of a long and winding road for Rhysop. Was originally with the Marlins organization. That's right. It was Florida first. Yep, it was a Marlin. Made the Braves opening day roster in 2008. was released in July of that year and went to Japan and pitched for the Hanshin Tigers. As Hayward drives one deep center, and that one off the base of the wall. Great start, leadoff double.
Some of that early work for Jason Hayward paying dividends right away on a low sinker that he went down and got and almost hit out of the ballpark to straightaway center. Boy, was that nice. He was hitting .290 against Rysop coming in, so he's been scuffling a little bit. Might explain why he's 0-2.
So a good start in the 6th. Here's David. He's popped out and lined out. And a very late timeout call granted by Kerwin Danley. So after Rysop pitched in Japan in 2009, went to spring training in 2010 as a non-roster player with the Braves. He was reassigned to Gwinnett where he was a starting pitcher. Had an oblique problem in the 2010 season, then made his way to the Pirates where he pitched in 76 games in 2011. One ball, no strikes.
It's not too late in the game to be thinking about getting that runner over to third. Pick up a run here. Best case scenario, of course, an RBI base hit where you reach also, but an effort expected to try to go to right field and get him over.
Hayward's going to try to steal third, and he's going to make it easily. That's 8 steals for Jason. And that gives him the team lead.
And I believe that's the 3rd time he's stolen third base. And if you're going to steal with nobody out, you've got to be ultra sure you're going to make it. And he had a huge jump when Rysop wasn't paying enough attention to him. Well done.
Now the count 3 balls, no strikes.
It's like we got a bug problem down there that Barajas wanted out of there.
A strike, 3-1 the count. Now it's 3-2.
Two years ago, 2010, Jason Hayward had 11 stolen bases for the year. Last year he had 9 and already 8 in April of 2012. And he'd like to get another run scored right here too. Good cut there. Not so much that he had a good swing and just missed it, but that he got a tough pitch to fight off and did. Fastball riding up and in on him.
No, you've said a lot. Sometimes how players take pitches, perhaps sometimes how players fight off tough pitches, are a true indicator of how well they're hitting or not.
Yeah, he had to pull his hands in to fight that one off.
Did it again. This one foul over the Braves dugout into a big crowd tonight. Great to see the ballpark as lively as it is tonight. Lots of fans ringing the upper deck. Bleachers are full. Chop House doing brisk business. A lot of folks milling around out on the fan plaza. Great atmosphere again for game 2 of this series.
Expect a big crowd tomorrow, I hope, for Tim Hudson's return to the active roster. David's a good fastball hitter. Fought that one off that I talked about. Had another fastball that he fouled back, and that was another one that he's zeroing in on.
We are seeing the Braves batters rack up big pitch at bats. This is a 9-pitch at bat for Ross. It's popped up. Jones over near the railing by the Braves dugout. Has room. David can't bring home Hayward. There's the first out.
Just enough room. Not a lot of wind here tonight. Typically on a foul ball that way, it's going to come back to the field, and it did enough for Jones.
Here's Juan Francisco. He's 0 for 2. Jones handles that hot smash. That'll bring home a run to make it a 4-2 game. Hayward scores. Now the Braves are a bloop and a blast away from tying this game.
Good job. David Ross very appreciative of his teammate that picked him up there. Long way to go, too.
Tyler Pasternak in the batter's box. Look who's on deck. If Tyler can reach, Chipper Jones will get a chance.
The injury to McCann really crimps Freddie Gonzalez's bench and how he uses guys, because where he normally has one guy he won't use, the backup catcher, now he's got 2, and that's McCann and Matt Diaz. He's got to hold Matty back in case he needs him as an emergency.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Braves emergency catcher would be Martin Prado.
I would think, yeah.
So if you really have desperate measures, you could manipulate your lineup card that way, but obviously Freddie hopes it doesn't come to that. Three balls and a strike.
Freddie was talking about this before the ball game, though, real quick, and he said, you know, if I run out of outfielders, that's one thing. You know, I can run a pitcher out there. Anybody I can send out there to run around, catch a fly ball. He said it's a whole lot different when you're talking about catching. You run out of catchers.
Off the mask of Barajas. Pasternacky now another 3-2 pitch.
Still trying to go the other way.
With that in mind, Jones is way off the bag at first. Walker pinching a little toward the first base bag at second. That one headed for the upper deck. And it made 3 stops. Dropped in the upper deck, dropped in the club level, and it bounced in the lower deck too. It'll be a 9-pitch at bat at least for Pasternacky. Braves have forced Rysop to throw 20 pitches so far in the 6th. Hayward doubled, stole third, scored on Francisco's ground out to first.
He's spoiling that fastball away, that constant fastball away. And at some point, you don't want him to completely abandon his approach because it's working for him right now. But this would be a prime opportunity to get ready to ambush one and turn on it.
Chris Van Zant and Ben Akery may want to call Rawlings and order some more baseballs.
A few souvenirs tonight from the Braves bats.
It's been great. Liner into the right. And it gets past Tabata, and it rolls to the wall. Pasternacky flying around second, on his way to third, and that's where they'll stop with 2 outs. What a great at bat.
What a great series of at bats for this kid over the last week. They did try to come in on him with a fastball, but he stayed with what's working for him. And with Tabata playing over near the line with all those foul balls going into the seats down the right field line, he had a ways to go to his right to try to cut this ball off and just flat out missed it. And now Chipper will get a chance to hit, representing the tying run.
And a milestone game for Chipper. This is career game number 2,400. And a big meeting on the mound for the Pirates.
Came through with a big hit last night. Had 2 strikes on him against Evan Meek. They went up and away with runners at second and third with the infield in. Drilled that one past Pedro Alvarez. Big 2-run hit. Chance to get another run in here after the base hit by Pasternacky and what has been ruled an error by Tabata. Hit an error.
So ball 1 to Chipper.
24 pitches for Resop.
That's outside, ball 2.
Good pitch. Good 2-0 pitch. Just a little biting slider there that Chipper laid off. He was looking for something else, or looking for it in a different area. And now a changeup. That error, by the way, by Tabata ended a string of 59 straight innings by the Pirates without an error.
The Braves have done a remarkable job all year of cashing in opponent mistakes. Can Chipper do it here with Pasternak at third, a run in, and 2 outs and a 2-2 count?
See if he backs up that changeup with another one.
He might have. A roller out to second. Walker's got it, and that retires the side. Resop really labored. He threw 28 pitches. The Braves touch him for their second run of the night. 7th inning now. 4-2. Reverse by Checkers, by Toyota, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Got a ball game tonight, game 2 of the 4-game series. Braves creep a little closer, now a 4-2 score as we head to inning number 7. Another AT call to the bullpen. But first, a little help from Jason Hayward.
Yeah, that promotion for the steal a base. That young man didn't have as far to go. I think he set an all-time record on down and back thanks to Hayward.
They had 8 seconds to spare, I think.
Yeah.
Which...
Nicely done, Jason.
Nice work by Livan Hernandez in relief. An inning and 2/3 scoreless. Christian Martinez answers the AT call to the bullpen with the middle of the Pittsburgh order up.
His 6th game, his first since the 22nd at Arizona, which was also when Delgado started there against the Diamondbacks. Went 2 innings, gave up 4 hits and a run, a walk, and a strikeout. His job simple, not simple. Plain, obvious. Hold him right there.
Garrett Jones first. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Now 1-2.
Chip, was it tonight or tomorrow night that Jair Jurgens was going to pitch for Gwinnett in Toledo?
I think it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Against the mighty Mud Hens?
Yes.
Well, we'll all be anxious to see how Jair does, and we wish him well in his first start.
I really loved what Jair had to say about getting sent down to Gwinnett. He said, look, I wish I could say it was my knee or any concerns about my knee. I'm here. No one really to blame but myself. I just didn't pitch well. And Jones, a ground ball to second. I know you said at the time you don't think it's going to take JJ that long to get back to the big league club. He's too good to struggle the way that he struggled this year.
Yeah, he'll get it figured out. He and Marty Reed get it figured out down there and get a couple of 3 real good starts under his belt, if not more. I don't know how long it would be before the club would recall him, but I have a good feeling about him being able to figure out some mechanical things that hopefully will get him straightened out and back to pitching good baseball again.
Yeah, so 2 real important pitching performances for the Braves tomorrow. Tim Hudson with a big club and JJ with Gwinnett. Funny hop. And Christian to the bag, does his job. Neil Walker is retired for the first time in tonight's ball game. Remember our trivia question a few short innings ago? Brought to you by AT Uverse. Name the last Pirate with more than 40 stolen bases in a season.
I like your choice.
You like Tony Womack?
No.
Omar Moreno?
Omar Moreno's a good call. I'm going to go with another guy that was a blazer for them way back, and that was Miguel Delaney, who could fly. Talked you out of it, didn't I?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
What I should have done is get you over there to Omar Moreno and then take Tony Womack.
I tried to contribute. You just... I tell you, it was fun as a youngster watching those Pirates teams play. Just beat the ball into that turf, guys like Moreno, and just watch them run. That was worth the price of admission.
They'd send them all down to Harry the Hat Walker, and he would teach them all those guys, how to choke up on the bat and use the turf and their legs.
And would some ballparks have extra springy turf, or was it all pretty much the same in your era that you
I think it was all pretty hard. Doesn't matter where it was.
Speaking of hard, Christian Martinez was real hard to hit in the 7th.
Good inning.
Real good inning. 7th inning stretch time. Top of the order coming up in a 2-run game. Let's see if the Braves can mount a late inning comeback in Game 2. Upper deck's full, the chops in full force. All the All-Stars aren't between the white lines. And for the moment, the Pirates fans are smiling because their club's up by a 4-2 score. But the Braves have the top of the order coming up in this 7th inning. And they'll be facing a couple of new Pittsburghers in their defensive lineup. Casey McGee is in for the first time. He'll play first base. Garrett Jones out of the ball game. And we're going to see our second former Brave in a row come out of the Pirate bullpen. And Juan Cruz has been extremely effective. This is his 9th game.
He's always had a really good arm. We haven't seen him in a couple of years. He's been in the American League 2 years with Kansas City in 09 and 2010. Last year at Tampa Bay, and he had a good year in 56 games. He was 5-0 with a 3.88 ERA, almost a strikeout per inning pitched. And the Pirates signed him to a minor league free agent contract. Went to camp as a non-roster guy. He's put on a lot of weight though since we saw him. He's up to 6'2", 170. The guy that John Smoltz referred to as the lawn dart.
He'll face Michael Bourne to start the inning. 1. Braves worked over Resop, yes, for only 1 run, but they made him throw 29 pitches. The big at bat Pasternicki had a double-digit matchup. Jason Hayward started that inning with a double and scored the 2nd run. Now let's see what Bourne, Prado, and Freeman can do. That's a ball high, 2-0.
Resop pitched behind in the count a lot in the 6th, and it's 2-0 here for Cruz against Bourne.
A walk could be nice. 3 balls, no strikes. Nice rally by Cruz to run the count full.
He had a good year with Atlanta in 2004. He went 6-2 with a 2.75 ERA in 50 games. He was part of the group of players that went to Oakland for Tim Hudson.
Bourne slaps it to center. McCutchen can't get there. Another 2-hit game for Michael Bourne, and the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Martin Prado.
And I know it's a 2-run game, but it's not too early to, or too late rather, to start trying to manufacture a situation to get 1 more run and cut it to 4-3.
Cruz behind in the count. 1 ball, no strikes.
Pretty short lead for Michael. Wasn't drawing attention to himself for that, so that might have been called from the dugout just to throw over.
Cruz is trying to pitch himself into a big mess.
See, I think he rushed himself. We talk about Delgado sometimes getting in a hurry with a guy at first. He threw over, Then he got his sign, he came set, and he barely paused and then kind of slide step, rushed that slider and pulled it into the left-handed batter's box.
I mean, so often we talk about speed, and yes, it manifests itself in going from first to third and stolen bases. Sometimes the threat of speed is as dangerous as the speed itself.
It's a lot of pressure on the defense.
Three balls and a strike.
Good hitters count. Chance to tee off on a fastball.
And it's fouled to the right side, 3-2.
His fastball still in the mid-90s.
Bourne's running. Ground ball up the middle. Walker at the second base bag, fielded and stepped on the pillow, and that's a double play. Wow. That really hurts.
Big break for the Pirates here. If Bourne's not running, there's a good chance that ball's going to creep right into center field. But Walker had to cover with the runner going, so he's standing there waiting on it. What a break for Pittsburgh.
Base is clear now for Freeman. Freddie has struck out 3 times tonight. Cruz gets ahead of his first hitter in this inning.
That missing. That pitch was chasing him. Slider.
Hot smash to short. And that will retire the side. Juan Cruz escapes the 7th inning, preserves a Pirate lead. It's 4-2 Pittsburgh. We head to the top of the 8th inning. You see our Chase scoreboard. Pittsburgh leads the Braves by a 4-2 score. Christian Martinez back out for a second inning. He got the Pirates in order in the 7th.
Same thing. Keep it rolling. Keep throwing up those zeros. Offense just had a tough break in the bottom of the 7th.
Bourne with a leadoff hit, running on a 3-2 pitch. Prado makes contact, rolls it right to the second base bag. Walker was covering. All he had to do was catch it cleanly, step on the bag, and fire to first for a double play. And really a rare double play ball by the Atlanta offense. Braves haven't hit in many. In fact, that's just the 9th. Nice pitch by Martinez. Barmes down swinging for the second time. One away in the 8th. Hope you'll join us for Alumni Weekend, June 8th through the 10th, as the Braves face the Toronto Blue Jays. On Friday night, be here to watch the Braves retire John Smoltz's number in a pregame ceremony on the field. For details, visit Braves.com/Smoltz or call 800-745-3000. John's probably working on his opening monologue as we speak.
You know he's going to have some material. Side-splitting jokes.
If you can't tell, my partner's very excited about that.
A little sarcasm in that side-splitting part.
Yes. Well, John thinks they're funny. Barajas a little cue shot to short. And Freeman with the stretch. Martinez has retired 5 straight. And here is Casey McGee.
Jason Grilli is their setup man. He's loosening up in their bullpen. He's given up a few runs, but he's also struck out a ton of guys.
Braves have a shift on for Casey McGee. 3 defenders on the left side of the infield.
He was 1 for 3 with a walk last night. Just occurred to me, I need to look it up or have Gretchen or Chan look it up. In that 19-inning game last year, I think Christian went 6 innings of shutout relief for the Braves.
He's gone 2 sparkling innings tonight. That's his 3rd strikeout. Big boys coming up for the Braves in the 8th. Ugla, Hayward, and Ross in a 4-2 ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning as we have reached the 10 o'clock hour in Atlanta. Randall Delgado started for the Braves and struggled. He gave up 4 runs in 4 1/3. Eric Bedard struck out 9 in his 5 innings as the Pirates starter. Braves have whittled away this Pirate lead. It's now 4-2 with Dan Uggla ready to work first in this 8th inning. It's not going to be easy. Joe mentioned the setup man for the Pirates is Jason Grilli, and look at the strikeouts to walks in his first 8 games.
Yeah, and only 7 innings and a 154 average against him. Got 5 years in the big leagues, mostly with Detroit, but also with Colorado and Texas, a little bit with the White Sox. Good live arm. And in his 2nd year with the Pirates.
.94 for a strike. Dan has an RBI single. He's struck out and he's walked. One number, though, that does give you hope with Grilli, he's given up 4 hits in those 7 innings. 2 of those hits have been home runs. So if somebody can get on, maybe he'll serve up a game-tying homer.
He thought he struck him out at 95. He didn't get the call from Kerwin Danley, but he was walking off the mound. And you can understand why.
He can walk off the mound now. He does strike out Dan for the first out in the 8th inning. Here's Jason. Let's see if all that extra pregame work will help him tune up for this man's fastball.
Two good sliders there from Grilli, though, to strike out Uggla.
Hayward doubled off the center field fence in the 6th and scored the 2nd Braves run.
I mean, this is exactly what that work was for today, was to get a little work against that machine that was throwing hard and to react to it and to try to slow the lower body down so that the hands could work. As Freddie Gonzalez said it, he said it's like against a hard thrower at times. Jason, when he's loading up his swing, he sometimes does it twice. He loads and then the body kind of gets out front and he's got to kind of reset him.
Two and two.
That was a good cut. Good swing. And that was 96 and in on him. One of the things about a hard thrower that you got to be conscious of as a hitter, any hitter, is that you got to get that front foot down. You can't be caught with in a stride and your foot not quite down while you're still trying to react to the pitch. You've got to shorten your stride up as much as possible, or basically take no stride.
And Hayward down on strikes. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Uggla and Hayward. Now David Ross hits with the bases clear and 2 out.
That's 11 strikeouts for their pitchers tonight, but 9 of them were collected by Eric Bedard in just 5 innings.
We Again, this is a Pirate club that to this point hasn't hit much, but their pitching has been very, very solid. They came in with a staff ERA of 2.78. Despite being outscored by 15 runs coming into play tonight, Pirates were only 3 games under 500. Up and into David Ross. You heard him holler as that pitch buzzed by.
Because that ball was on him. Unfortunate to get out of the way there.
Very impressive 8th inning for Grilly. He strikes out the side swinging. He got Ugly, he got Hayward, he got David Ross. And this game goes to the 9th. The party's just getting started.
Karaoke. Having a good time at the ball yard. Gotta love it.
And so we go to the 9th. 3rd inning for Christian Martinez. He set down 6 in a row. In fact, the Braves have retired the last 10 Pirates in order. And he'll face Alex Presley, who singled to start the game and scored a 1st inning run.
The line for Christian that night, that 19-inning game, 6 innings of 2-hit shutout ball, 6 strikeouts, no walks. He threw 88 pitches. What an outing.
Foul at the plate by Presley. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great crowd tonight. 34,086. 34086. And Presley down on an off-speed pitch. That's 4 strikeouts for Martinez in 2 innings and a third.
And all swinging, and that was a great changeup. Great motion on it. Big arm action. And had Presley way out front.
Here's Tabata. He had a second inning RBI single. Off the left side of the mound, Tyler has to hurry and just got his man. Tabata got down the line in real good shape on that slow roller. 2 out.
One of the things that Tyler's begun to do that I'm sure Jack Wilson has been instrumental in, as well as the Braves coaching staff, is when he fields the ball, throwing it from where he fields it and getting rid of it quickly. He's not having to take a crow hop. Doesn't know he doesn't have the time to take a crow hop and then really cut it loose. And that quick release is what got Tabata there. Nice play.
Talked to Terry Pendleton about that, and he said what Ozzie Smith always used to tell him when he played alongside in St. Louis: the ball is your dance partner. Just dance to the ball.
Well, he did that earlier tonight on a similar play behind the bag.
McCutchen drives that one a mile down the left field line. Will the ballpark hold it? Yes. He's on his way to second, and he'll slide in with a 2-out double. That's the first Pittsburgh hit since the 5th inning. And McCutchen's first hit of this game.
It's all right. You know why it's all right? Because it stayed in the yard.
Yeah.
I thought that thing was deep into the seats. Must have had a little top spin on it. And right off the top of the wall.
So Nate McLouth will be announced. He'll bat for Grilly. I know that there's such defined roles in bullpens in Major League Baseball these days, but I wonder if Clint Hurdle was tempted at all to leave Grilly in after striking out 3 guys with 95-mile-an-hour heat.
Great asset in their bullpen. Hanrahan's been their closer, though. And he's ready to come in. The thing about Hanrahan is he can walk some people. 6 walks in 6 innings this year. Got to get one more out here.
Yep. Down 2 runs, 4-2 game. 1-1 count to Nate McLouth. And back out of play, 1-2.
He's going with a little more of a pirate look. Little facial hair. Got some cosmic neon shoes.
I don't remember Pirates wearing those kinds of shoes. Ooh, Martinez thought he backdoored him. But it missed, apparently, says Kerwin Danley. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't think it ever had the plate. Good job by David to try to frame it on there, but Looked wide.
Little pop into right, and Jason's got that, and that retires the side. Last chance for Atlanta. Need 2 to tie, 3 to win. It's the bottom of the ninth. Of inning number 9 at Turner Field. Can the Braves come back and win it in their last at bat?
Well, that's the subject of our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Braves with 6 comeback wins, second only to the Milwaukee Brewers so far this year. Be nice to tie them.
But to do that, they'll have to do it against Joel Hanrahan, who's on for the 7th time. He's 1-0 this year for the Pirates. Opponents hitting just 100 against him. But again, as Joe mentioned a second ago, 6 walks in 6 games.
And that's unusual for him. Last year, 68 innings, only 16 walks and 61 strikeouts. He had 40 saves for a ball club that last year only won 72 games. Not bad.
Francisco, Pasternicki, and then the pitcher's spot. One ball, no strikes.
Big guy, 6'4", 250, and he can bring it. He's in that 95, 96, 97 range. Boy, 97 right there is mighty tough.
Juan took it though. 2 balls, no strikes.
He's going to make him throw a strike, knowing he's been a little wild.
That one found the mark.
Yeah, that didn't look like as good a pitch as the one before.
Now it's 2-2.
Getting a good swing at him. Hanrahan 3 for 3 in saves, but the team just 5 for 8 so far. High fastball there. Need a base runner.
It won't be Francisco. He's down on strikes. Grilli and Hanrahan have struck out the last 4 Braves hitters. One away in the 9th. Two more hits for Tyler in the number 8 spot. Both of them singles. Hinsky is on deck. He'll be the next Braves batter. One ball, one strike.
Tyler almost wound up like a pitcher there, he's still trying to go to right, but he knew he had to tune it up just a little bit. Kind of tried to open up just a little to help get through.
Ooh, Barajas held it there. Hanrahan thought that caught a corner. Tyler got the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And 2 are out.
That pitch has been a difference maker for him. When we saw him when he first came up with Washington, he was a guy who walked a lot of people as kind of a setup guy. And he had a good arm, but he couldn't throw enough strikes. And they were willing to trade him to Pittsburgh along with Lastings Millage to get Niger Morgan and Sean Burnett. And since he's been with the Pirates, he's been their closer. He's had better command, and that slider has really improved.
Eric Hinsky tries to keep the game alive for the Braves. Pittsburgh with a radical shift. Hinsky shows bunt and takes a ball outside.
Yeah, this is a case where the bump would be absolutely perfect, because even if he hits a home run, it's still a 1-run ball game.
High fly, belted right. Hinsky has been caught in right.
Oh, what a finish.
The ball was absolutely crushed, and Tabata at the wall brought it home, and the Pirates hang on and win 4-2.
Boy, did he get this one. But unfortunately, right to the 390 mark. In front of the bullpen.
I thought he got him.
It's a save, all right.
You bet. And Pittsburgh wins game number 1 for Eric Bedard this season.